This is part two of the video. So it was what I was talking about was I was breaking down, our history of how we get shit done in this country, and that's through might and through economic building. So that's through us building on our own together exclusively. That's where you get all the black Wall Streets all over the United States, and us founding all of the many of the major cities that are found that are highly populated by us, or highly populated in general. That was done by us, and us defending and going to war. That's how we get shit handled in this nation, not by holding hands or by assimilating or by doing the 1-2 step. Nah, we get shit handled on our own, on our square, standing tall. And so the reason why I talked about MLK was because I was breaking down, what happened to him and then who did what. All you have to do is honestly read William Pepper's book Orders to Kill, and then I'll give you the full basis. But I digress. After he was assassinated, black people in this nation turned the fuck up, for real, for real. And for about a month, they slid everything that wasn't right, everything that was white, and caused white flight. The whites were forced to retreat because the blacks had had enough of the Jim Crow era. And literally overnight, basically, Jim Crow in its formal forms had to be restructured because it was unsustainable, because blacks were turning up everywhere. And honestly, truthfully, we should have never stopped turning up. When it came to the Black Seminole Wars, we should have never stopped those. When it came to the Civil War, when we won the Save the Nation and defeated the Confederacy and saved the Union and won this entire war, after the Confederacy was kicking the Union's ass the first 2 years of the war, we should have never stopped then because we got betrayed in the betrayal of 1877. We got betrayed during the Black Seminole Wars with those fake treaties that then were reneged upon. Then we got betrayed again during the 60s with the so-called integration shit, which was just them trying to assimilate and destroy our communities. So these lessons have taught us that we have to, after we win, we have to negotiate our victory on our own terms and take over everything. Everything. We have to define the reality as such and make others bow down and accept it. And if not, they aren't allowed to be in our reality. It's as simple as that. And so this leads me to my next point, the pull-up summer era right now. I love this era right now. I'm not gonna even front. This is a great era we're in right now. Us standing on code, getting back to unity, and pulling up on anything and everything. It's perfect. Like that army bitch boy that was on some shit. He bullied an autistic kid and thought he was all bad and shit. I'm like, nigga, you're a bitch, bro. Yeah, you about to show you what I'm about to do. I'm like, you ain't about to do shit, and you pushed like a bitch. That nigga was half your size, and he barely moved, bro, when you pushed him. And then when the real hitters came at you, you was in your house underneath the covers and shit, like a bitch. You was real tough and shit when a nigga half your size was around you, and then your wife, the little dog asshole that she is. I've always said this: the white female slave master is worse than the white man, always, because she's the setup artist. She's the one who coerces our hoes into the white female slave master's agenda called feminism. She is the apparatus that divides shit up. She's the apparatus that pushes the weirdo agenda, that pushes shit through the ringer. That's her. And she gets to pretend like she's an oppressed group when in actuality she is plan B if plan A doesn't work. She's part of the oppression. She can't be oppressed if she's part of the oppression. It don't work like that. How the hell can you be oppressor and oppressed at the same time? What she is she didn't get her rightful cut, so she's a henchman instead of being the boss motherfucker. So there's the Joker, and then there's Harley Quinn. That's what she is. She's Harley Quinn. So she goes along and does all the deeds, but she doesn't get like her cut in the deeds of decadency. That's not oppression. That's her going along with the shit, but not getting her rightful cut, quote unquote, of evil. So Yeah. So here we go. Um, what is what this example most manifests itself is in the Amber Geiger case. For those who don't know, the Amber Geiger case was when this bitch killed a black man in cold-blooded murder, and then 5 black women in authority: the bailiff, the police chief, the judge, the juror, and the mother got on code to get her off. But it was a young brother, Joshua Brown, who stood up tall and testified against that bitch ass police officer. And as a result, he was killed. And nobody's even talking about this shit. And they supposedly found who did it. And it was such a setup game. Everybody knew who did it. But nobody was brave enough to stand up and challenge the narrative. And so the story just went away. But that just tells to tell you that the white female slave master's agenda is in full view. And our women as a group co-sign their white female slave masters agenda, feminism, over their own group, and especially over their own men, which is horrible. And I'm saying as a group. Now we know that there are exceptions. We know that there's a whole bunch of sisters that are riding right now. I'm talking about the Tariq Nasheed, grassroots, FBA, own code types. But that's the outliers. The majority are who I am talking about. So just need to make that distinction for somebody who's going to listen to this and then be like, oh, I don't want to hear all that. And but back to the pull-up summer thing. This is the start of what I've always wanted. I want us to get in a unity mindset and stay there. We were on that last year, but we allowed the propaganda machine to get us out of this shit. This time, let us stay in that unity, togetherness, on codeness, and let us not lose that. Not only for the whole summer, but forever and ever. This should be the start of a new paradigm shift where we stay on code, we have each other's back for all time. And we use this momentum to push and restore Mayat and defeat this evil, decadent white supremacist system and all evil surrounding this. And finally, defeat the ruling class, defeat the ruling race, and the buffers and all the do boys for the system, and finally win and run this shit and rule and have that heaven on earth for Mayat that we deserve. Because we deserve to be free in all forms. We deserve justice because we're the justice community. And what is justice? Justice is the reward for good and the punishment for evil. And that's what we're doing right now. We're elevating right now. If you notice right now, the cracker is going back to his natural state. That's why if you notice they're all freaking out and they're going crazy. You had a video where a motherfucker was slamming his head through the computer and shit. The Happening. Remember that Happening when the motherfucker was just banging their head and it was acting all crazy? They're going back to their natural state, which is just non-humanic and glitchy and all this other shit. And I Am Legend Darkseeker-ish. Sorry. They're going back to that. Robotic and shit. They're going back to that. And we're going back to who we are, which is the guys and goddesses of the planet. We're on the rise. We're on the rise, and everybody else is on the decline. People can't handle it right now. That's why you see them acting out. That's why you see them desperate to try to have us stay on our knees. Nah, boy, we getting up and we standing on our square. And we getting into that Khalid Muhammad energy, to that John Horse energy, that Jean-Jacques Dessalines energy, that King Ramses, the warrior pharaoh energy. That's what we at with it. We on that pull up summer shit, and I'm fucking with it. I'm really fucking with this shit because I want this shit to just ride and last. And so, this is just a reminder that we need to keep controlling the narrative. Don't let them change the narrative. Keep talking. Let's get back to the defund the police, reparations, and ending the Black Genocide Campaign, and ending this Holocaust and this war against us. Let's get back to keeping that on the loop reel until the task is done, and defeating white supremacy until the task is done. That needs to be it. And it's no need to celebrate. Now, I'm not gonna front. I was like doing a little, you know what I'm saying, when the guilty verdict went through, because I wanted him to be guilty because he was guilty. But then another part of me wanted it to be not guilty, so all the real niggas could start getting real with it. You know what I mean? You know. So that's where I was at with it, honestly, from being real. So um, just being 1,000. And what else? Uh, don't fall for the vaccine bullshit. What else? The celebrities are all a bunch of bootleg sellouts. If you didn't know from last year when they all stood down during the George Floyd uprising, that was not a coincidence. They were told to stand down. That's why they were all silent. I remember B. Simone was an example of one of them when people were coming at her. She was talking about she's a Christian and shit. Even though that whole be talking about sucking the boys. Shit. All right. Well, yeah. But yeah. But I digress. And keep keep pushing, stay resilient, keep fighting back, keep reacting with strong force against all of this evil because they're throwing the kitchen sink at us because they know we're rising. But keep pushing because they're losing their steam and we're just getting our started. I can see they're actually waning, but we're waxing. Um, and what else was I also say? And what's another thing? We need to be more proactive as well. We need to organize. And also counter this buck breaking and shit. We need to organize though. Like it's cool that we have a pull up summer shit, but that needs to be organized to a point where we can, form like Voltron at any moment's notice. In the thousands, in the 100,000, in the millions if we need to. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere, any city, any state, any nation. You know what I mean? We need to be all that shit. That's what we need to be at. And it just doesn't need to be militarily. That's good, but we need to be able to form like that economically so that we can look out for one another. Make sure everybody can eat. Make sure everybody got a shelter. Make sure everybody's provided for, transportation for. We need to get to that in all forms. This needs to be a collective, biotic approach. It's time for us to shift the paradigm. This self-hating nigga shit is I'm tired of. And y'all should be tired of. To the point where y'all should end all of this. Because I'm trying to end all of it. In whatever form that I'm able to end it, I am doing my part. And I'm going to keep pushing, keep going harder. And it should be 25-8, 366, forever and ever until we finally win this shit. And we finally get back to that tight fist that we were on before instead of like this, where we're all separated. So, and it's time for us to stay on code, stay consistent, stay vigilant, and look out for one another. And keep grinding. Fuck this shit. Because I can see beyond what the clouds are, what the smoke screen is. I see us after we win all of this. And it's beautiful. Honestly. It's peace all time. It's happiness all time. And heaven on earth. Which we been deserved. Which was already supposed to be meant for us on this land. So, it's time that we get back to that. And nobody can stop us. Nobody can stop us. That's why I say no more gender war. Women, whatever gripe you have against us, cool, air it out. Men, whatever gripe you have against them, cool, air it out. And then let's come to some sort of code and harmony so that we can defeat our enemies. Because once they're defeated, watch, you'll see that all of our differences were manufactured and came from the outside. So that is what it is. But I just say keep calling out the house niggas, keep calling out the coons, keep going ham at the white supremacist system, go at the buffer classes and all their do boy lists as well. Keep countering all the Trojan horse strategies, spin game strategies, technologies, bait and switch, the same shit, scorch earth tactics, it's the same shit. Negative propaganda against us, it's the same stupid shit. They do it the same dumbass shit. They're not even ingenious. Middle class, you suck. I mean, you suck. You don't know how to run it. You don't even run the agenda no more. Your war is easy. It's easy to strat. You're not even good at strategizing your shit. So it's not for us to hurry up and win. It's It's time for them to go bye bye. They're done. They should have been gone a long time ago. Guys, it's time for you to lose. You're about to lose. I'm just letting you know that. Nothing you can do is going to save you. Time you're going to lose it all, and nothing you're gonna do is gonna stop that. And that goes for your group as well. So I say, it's been a fun. It's been a fun ride. Nice knowing you. Hasta luego, and time for the gods to rule again. Oh well. Yeah, I'm about to sign out. JMark2100. Subscribe. Um, Tell your friends about me. Rush Hour voice, Chris Tucker Rush Hour voice. If y'all remember that scene. Um, Subscribe, like, share, put me on. Let this shit go viral. Watch the old videos as well. I haven't posted in a while because I don't know. It's just like it's just kind of like, because if you've heard me already, it's just kind of like new scene but the same strategy. So it's kind of I've already laid down the blueprint. So I don't want to, you know what I mean, just sound redundant. But now I do like the pull up summer shit that we're on. Now I want us to stay on that and don't lose that momentum. Stay with the momentum and keep pushing it and enhancing it and increasing it and holding it and expanding on it. What else can I talk about? Uh, I want to talk about. I guess I want to talk about. As a side note, I want to talk about love and soulmates and soul. I think another thing that we need to do as well is bringing back the love and shit. Getting the soulmate vibe and shit, because that's important. Because if you have somebody who's down for you and you down for them, y'all can accomplish anything. And what better way to be in this life than to have somebody else who really understands you and really is down for you, really loves you. It's the best feeling in the world. So, yeah. And who the hell wants to be alone? You know what I mean? Like, that sucks. For real, for real. Like, of course, you need to be able to have those time periods to be alone, of course. You can't be afraid to be by yourself, but if you are able to be given the opportunity to get a soulmate and get a lover who is actually down, I say stay on that course, stay with that, and don't allow the distractions in the world and all the minor shit and petty shit to break in between what's the core value shit that got y'all together. So that's just me giving y'all that 1-2 game as a sidebar to all the agendas that are going on in the world. And just look for me to continue to rise and get to my destiny as well. Just on a personal note, like look for me to continue to elevate myself in all forms and get better, be better, and improve. Because I'm not perfect. I know a lot of shit, and I'm giving game, and I like to talk about what's going on and geopolitically and the ruling class and how weak they are and all of that. But I'm just like y'all. I just am somebody who actually gives. I give a damn. So I speak out what it is, and yeah, and I appreciate everybody who watches, sends, puts me on, likes my stuff, shares to other people. I appreciate that. I really do. It means a lot. And one thing I want to end on is, as men and as women, well, especially as men, we need to do a better job of protecting our community. Real shit, because this is a slap in the face to us that our women and kids could be shot down and mistreated like this. Yeah, I know our women are split from us because of the feminist and independent thing, but we should still be able to make an effort to tell all other groups, men, that nah, this shit off limits. If you harm one of our kids or our women, we're going to make it impossible for you to even get a bagel at Einstein's. But that's real though. That's real. I'm joking, but that's dead ass serious. Like that's where we need to be with that shit. And as men, we need to be on that Khalid Muhammad energy. And I just opposed the and We need to have a business savvy and be business oriented and be able to build our communities up, build houses, build industries, and transform this shit, counter gentrification, but also create independent communities and buy independent land inside the U.S. but outside the U.S. as well. Like, we need to be domestic and international and link up with other on code black people globally so we can take over everything, because all of this is ours. Everything. This nation is ours, but this world is ours, including the motherland. And we have claims here, we have claims in the motherland, and then we have claims around the world. As Khalid Muhammad would say. So, yeah. And that's why reparation needs to be given, because that's a demand that is earned for us. If illegals can get $2 billion in New York when they're not even fucking citizens, and they weren't even the reason the Democrats got into power, then the reason why the Democrats got into power, which were black people, and their demands are reparations and an end to the just like man, those are the two least things you can do, because without us there would be no nation. So y'all would be not even here. You know what I'm saying? Your arrogance offends the fuck out of me, and it's disrespectful to the ancestors. And I say as a people we need to elevate more as well. We need to elevate our consciousness and get into that mastery mind, get into that God force, God mind, God body, and elevate, continue to elevate beyond that. And it all starts from within. We need to turn back inward, get down out of the self and turn back inward and restore a meiotic balance within us so that we can push that into the world and change it for the better and for all time, so that this shit don't happen no more. None of this shit should be happening, honestly. We should have been handled all this shit. This pedophilia ring shit should have been going down. The ruling class doing all this demonic genocidal this shit should be going down. It's just everything, man. Everything. This depopulation agenda should be going down. We should be more radical than we are, if I'm being honest. I haven't been. I should be more rah-rah and more like getting the regime ready. Like, we should be beyond what the Capitol rioters were doing, literally, right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm being real, we should be taking over right now. There should be no more oppression happening right now. Our enemies should be scared to even walk out the fucking house right now, if I'm being honest. They shouldn't be feeling all free willy-nilly like they bought it when they're not. They attack women and kids. That's the most hoish shit you could do. Even in warfare, that's seen as hoish. Even assassins don't do shit like that. They leave the women and kids where they found them. See what I'm saying? Like, these people are pathetic. And they know their time is up. That's why they're going so demonic, so they can try to break us. But we're not going to break. You're going to break, because we're going to break your ass down. And so I said we keep staying vigilant. Keep pushing harder. Get tougher. We got to get tougher minded. Got to get more raw. We got to get more gritty, more hardcore, more hardcore against our enemies. We need to have the same anger and hate, self-hatred, and same hatred that we have for one another. We need to give that energy to our enemies. And then the same love that we have for our enemies, we need to give that to ourselves. And then elevate so that we can give ourselves the proper love. Because that's the problem right now. We have our swords crossed. We're inverted right now. And we need to end that inversion. We need to end that chaos within us and finally get some order within everything. And we need to change this and defeat this warfare against the traditional black family structure and stop this inversion energy of them trying to have an effeminized black man and an over masculinized black woman as a way to dehumanize and further enslave in a new form us. Because that's the agenda. Because back in the day, during the 60s, man, woman, child, elder put the U.S. on its knees, and we had to beat them. And so as a reaction, they vowed vengeance against us. So there's been a 50-year plus overt, more effective strategic apparatus against us more than before. And it's always been like that, but they enhanced it within the last 50 years. And now we're right here, right now. But it's actually hurt them because we've been battling back. And now we just need to push even harder, get even more gritty, get more bold, and get more empowered because we're on our way up. We're elevating, and everybody else is descending. So, this is the end of the video. Let's restore this bayat and let's live free. And thanks for listening, and appreciate your support. And once again, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, put it in Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all that. Google, email it, do what you do. Messages, Messenger, family members, friends, acquaintances, strangers, you know. So, yeah. But thank you. Bye.